Well, hello, everybody. It's Sunday. It's after 12 noon. I know that because The Simpsons are on. It's Sunday. I hope everybody's having a good Sunday. I went out for my walk today. It was nice. It was raining, but it was nice. I like rain. I have no problem. If you got a umbrella, you're cool. Even if you don't, it's only rain. It's also nice too because there wasn't that many people downtown. I think I might have seen 2 or 3 people, which was nice because I didn't have to wear the mask as often, which for me is problematic. I don't mind doing it, but it steams up my glasses when you're out walking. Sometimes the way I made my mask, it's hard to breathe, you know. But anyway, that's fine. And now people are wanting to get back to whatever it was they were back to before. And that's going to be a little tricky. I think what it is because if it's not happening to us, and myself included, the poignancy isn't there. It's like, if you heard there was a automobile wreck and you didn't know the people in the car, you'd feel something for them, but you wouldn't fall into despair, as opposed to if you heard your loved one was in a car. So it's the same thing with what's happening now. I think people have done a fairly good job, distancing and staying at home. So what we were told would be the positives of that people are seeing, and now they're saying, well, I don't see anything happening, and let's get back to work. So be careful. If you go back to work and you come down with the virus, is your employer responsible then for having an environment where this could occur? I only bring it up because it's on my mind. What do I know? I don't have to deal with that issue. Today's poem in part has to do with cheese. I have a thing about cheese. I used to have a more concentrated focus, not as you would think, but there was a time when I was doing a lot of organizational work, and I was doing through our nonprofit organization, and I was in coalition with a lot of arts groups and all that. And what that meant then was a lot of meetings. And after a while, I was sitting in meetings, and anyone who has to go to meetings knows what I'm talking about. I detest meetings in general. But having gone to these meetings, I stopped hearing words and started seeing cheese coming out of their mouths. And I refer to these people as the fromagistes. And I used to go on about this, as I'm apt to do. And then there was the world of the fromagistes, but then I also discovered in the world of cheese, there were a couple of things that were interesting. There was someone just brought this up on the internet a couple of days ago, and I forget who it was, but there was divination by cheese. People could look at cheese and they could predict and prophesy. Tyromancy. I have a poem that touches on that subject. And then there were also then cheese banks at one time where people would I guess deposit their cheese. It was more than just like a warehouse. It was actually a bank where the cheese was a form of currency in dealing with people, and there were cheese bankers and all that stuff. And I discovered the cheese banks when I was working in banking myself. Believe it or not, I was in banking, and of course Elliot was a banker, and then I was working in a bank, and I was experiencing cheese banking, and it all got me all cheesed out, you know. So that's how my mind works. And what does this have to do with anything? Who knows? But title of today's poem is called Casu Marzu. And those who hang out at my page sometimes know I've posted this a couple times, and I've also shown videos about this. Casu Marzu is a cheese that's made in Italy and France, Sardinia, and Sicily. And the distinguishing quality to this cheese is that it contains worms, maggots. What happens is they make the cheese, the flies go in, they lay eggs in a cheese, the eggs become maggots, and the maggots live in the cheese, and it's supposed to be very tasty. And I've seen videos of seemingly sane Italian people eating them. Of course, saying seemingly Italian and seemingly sane in the same sentence is kind of seemingly insane, being part Italian myself. So talking about Casu Marzu freaks people out, and it's yucky and it's horrible, and you know, some people would never do it. You know, there's many foods out there, and that's one of the foods people would need. I'm intrigued by it. You know, I could maybe be talked into it. The other idea I bring up is the idea of the annus horribilis, the horrible year. Some will say this is a horrible year, right? And the question we ask is, how do you tell a Casu Marzu from an annus horribilis? You know? And so this being Sunday, this could count for like a little bit of a homily. Do they still use the word homilies? Yeah. But and it kind of ends with a quote from a cricket coach on the death of I guess a famous cricket player. But one of the things in life I cannot comprehend is cricket. I'm not putting cricket down. I'm saying I myself am incapable of understanding cricket. I've sat in an Indian restaurants and watched cricket games. They cannot figure out what it is. I'm not sports minded, so, but yeah, so that's how it ends. Cricket. What the fuck am I talking about? So yeah, so that it's a pretty self-explanatory poem. You know me, all my poems are self-explanatory. So I do hope everyone's feeling well. I hope everyone's having a good day. You know, this May is going to start next weekend. Next Saturday, I believe, is May 1st. So we're really getting into springtime now, and the year is really progressing. So I suggest being happy, and I suggest being healthy. And I hope that's true for everyone. So here's your bit of ZEPP for today. Casu Marzu. So Mr. Trungpa said, eternity is a constant living electric experience that we are not really living and existing, but rather it is the world that lives and exists. And we, Anam Thubten said, are melting scabs of frost, the thawing gnaw, the gnawing thaw. Buddha can't poop for you. Enjoyed samsara so much, forgot to be shocked a long time ago. Haunted by a pasta fagioli. If you live life right, sordid tragedy is one of the amenities. Holy originally meant sweetheart. How do you tell an annus horribilis from a Casu Marzu, even with the haptagian and the verrratic? We must dig in and get through to tea. I think wisdom is not for me. Right? Everybody be happy, and evildoers beware.